XLTIC. Welcome to the XY and Sexy, baby, where we talk sexy music all night. Today, we are covering the sexy sounds of Marvin Gaye. Oh yeah, nothing gets sexier than Marvin Gaye. Let me introduce everybody. If you don't know, now you know. Marvin, we got Rod Ryder up in here. Oh yeah, we got the doctor giving it to you. To my right, we have C. Rome off the dome, baby. And I am Sexy Sauce, Stew Sauce. We are Xotic, Yeyo. So, let's get down to it. Let me introduce our sponsors who are too cool for school, baby. Social Ubiquity, the sexiest digital advertising agency here in South Florida, mamas and papas. Remember to give us a like, a subscribe, and check them out too for your digital advertising needs, baby. I love seeing you guys, and I love talking sexy music. So I think we should get down to it, baby.
Let's get down to it.
It's good to be back for another week.
That's right.
I know.
I think today's going to be a real fun one. I mean, we're always saying, we're always talking sexy, we're always playing sexy music, but I don't think there's an argument that the king of sexy music, until usurped, and I don't see that happening, is Marvin Gaye.
So, do you know how many kids Marvin Gaye has?
Do you know how many kids Marvin Gaye is responsible for?
That's what I was going to get. You took my punchline.
Hey, listen, now just for reference sake, they rehearsed that for about 5 minutes before we went live, okay?
And the fourth wall is already broken.
Yeah. That's why they come to the doctor, okay?
That's right.
He knows how to take down a wall.
Thank you.
But for real, how many kids is that guy responsible for?
I would say about as many as Genghis Khan.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I didn't know Genghis Khan played music. How come we're not talking about his sexy sounds?
They sound kind of violent.
Yeah.
I think he's a metal guy, right?
He's a metal guy, yeah, sure.
Now you're going to see from this, some metal band's going to start up and they're going to call themselves Genghis Khan.
Well, there is that one indie track, I get a little bit Genghis Khan. Don't want nobody to get it on with you, nobody else but me. It's a little dark.
It is a little
Definitely not as sexy as Marvin's lyrics.
Yeah, we'll get into that, right? We've got another top 4 today.
That's right.
Yes, we do.
We do. So who'll go first?
Not it. Nose goes. I know you can't see it, but I'm touching it.
So just for that, Stu, tell us, what is your top Marvin Gaye track?
I thought you were a doctor. Do you not know how this game is played?
Well, come on, man. Come on.
My top favorite Marvin song, as cliche as it sounds, is What Is Going On.
Yes.
Ugh. See, I wanted that one, but...
I know you did. That's why I picked it.
What's going on?
You just want to win.
Yeah.
Yes.
No denying.
So we've definitely heard that song a lot lately. I heard it on the NBA game yesterday, just playing in the background to the fake audience. What gets you into that song so much?
I think because the message is transversing time for the
Sure.
last, let's say it was written in the 60s, right? That was the time?
70s.
70s.
Yeah.
And for it to still have meaning in 2020, 70 to 80, 90, thousands, tens, 20s, that's like 50 years.
Just about, yeah.
Which isn't a very long
50
time now
years
that I
next
think
year,
about it.
yeah.
But real talk, in 50 years, that music still means something to everybody with eyes wide open.
Yep. Well, it's the first track, right, off of that album, the What's Going On album. That album, start to finish, still holds up, and I'd argue musically, it's incredibly influential on the kind of neo-soul revival that's going on today that's super popular on YouTube and social media. I think it's a great choice, and it's going to be a hard follow.
I would agree. He was one of the first artists on Motown that got to write his own stuff, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was.
Because I know that Motown was very much about their songwriters.
That's
you were
right.
going to do their music
Right.
that they provide the artist.
That's right. Motown came fully staffed.
Yeah, exactly.
So you write your own stuff. We'll save it for your solo project. Or
Yeah.
another time. you should use this writer, but Marvin wasn't like that.
No.
You know.
And he had the clout.
Yeah, he definitely had the clout.
He had
He's
the
what you
clout.
call a trailblazer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Before we get into any other song, I want to mention an honorable mention. It's not even a really, it's not actually not really, it's not a Marvin Gaye song at all. If you do yourself a favor, after this podcast, watch the whole podcast, but after this, look up Marvin Gaye National Anthem NBA All-Star Game.
Oh yeah, we'll throw that link in the bio
Yeah.
or in the description rather.
God.
We'll also tie that
I think he's the,
into our
I
Spotify.
mean, I'm probably wrong about this, but I think he's the first one who gave the national anthem at one of these events his own spin, you know,
Yes.
which now is common. Every, artist has to give it their own little spin.
We all remember Fergie's spin.
Oh no.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
Carl Lewis.
Carl Lewis. Hey. Uh-oh.
But did that precede Jimi Hendrix?
No. No, it wouldn't, because Jimi Hendrix was at Woodstock.
69, yeah.
Yeah, that's something completely different. But
vocally speaking.
vocally speaking, but once again, he did that at Woodstock.
Sure.
So this was an actual NBA All-Star game. You're on TV, and I don't know. I mean, I wasn't alive for then, so I don't know what the reaction was. But I assume some people were not happy with him doing his thing. But who cares?
Of
He
course.
made the national anthem sexy like he does with everything.
Yes,
so.
sir.
And if you like to make things sexy, you should hit the like button. And then leave us a comment about what makes it so sexy.
There you go.
So I don't want to get lost on what's going on. I know the lyrics are really what resonate home with me, but Stu, I know you're super into the musical aspect as well. Would you speak to some of the things that get done musically in that song as well?
Let's see, if I think about like chord structure wise, it's very nice. It's very basic in the beginning, especially with the verses,
Yeah.
because it's like a 1 to like, what was it, to the 6, because that's the B minor. All right, and so like the 1/6 change is very relative to major and minor for all you musicians out there and non-musicians, like, right?
I think it's really, it's a really basic. It goes 1, 6, 4, 5, right? It goes back and forth between the 1 and the 6.
So the songwriting is not complicated. It's the way the musicians fill it in. So my favorite bass player, he's on there.
Who's your favorite bassist again?
James Jamerson,
James Jamerson.
member of the Funk Brothers of Motown, of that whole team that
That's right.
came with Motown.
That's right.
And he puts a sexy, slinky bass line on what's going on.
When I did that cover that I posted on our page a few weeks back, the bass was what took me the most takes. Because I'm not really a bass player to begin with. My fingers are a little softer, used to the guitar. But nailing that groove took, I think, 30 takes. And that was, 8 bars?
It's killer. It's killer.
It's so
you
good.
know? It's so timely and all that. So, no, it's what's going on. It's a timeless song. It was timeless then. It's timeless now. You can play it at any of the rallies or protests that are going on right now, and it would not be out of place.
Nope.
It's sort of become an anthem for the current
It's listen. Every time one of these things comes up, and it comes up every so many years, it's an anthem again.
It seems like 5 years. I've been watching math, but right now the pattern seems like every 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, you heard it here first, guys.
Getting our math from our English teacher.
Yeah.
Randomisms by Stu Sauce.
That'll be a whole different podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like a Joe Rogan podcast.
We'll get big
One
enough to make
day.
a spin-off.
But my favorite line from that song, from What's Going On, oh man, is talk to me and you'll see what's going on. That's like the best line in that song,
So
because
sad.
when I was at the protest, it was really nice hearing the points of view from others. Because when you don't know what's really going on and you get to hear firsthand on why a lot of the reactions are what's coming from an angrier person because of their experiences, when it's not your shoes that you're getting to finally not step into fully, but at least you get to see how they're worn. It's how do I say it? It's different. And like once it happens and you understand, not fully, hopefully that you never understand what's really going on, but if you get to experience somebody else's experiences, it's eye-opening. It's wild.
That was very well said. Yeah. I think the song is a question. What's going on is a question.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize that. It's just, you hear Marvin singing it, what's going on? It's the call and response. What's going on? What's going on? Tell me what's going on. But it really is a question, and the way that it was written, in my opinion, was done purposefully to make the listener ask themselves, now almost 50 years later, what's going on? So it's just one of those songs, you know. It's the highest height of a message song, you know.
I would agree with that 100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
And by framing that question as the hook, you know, this is something that a really great YouTuber by the name of Rick Beato goes over. Something that happened really up until the late 90s was that the hook of the song was almost always a phrase that got repeated throughout, and that was sort of the motif of the song. Nowadays, choruses are longer. They're usually 4 to 8 unique lines that, you know, that are all tied together by a word or handful of words. But what's going on is such an awesome hook because with the call and response, you can really hear Marvin Gaye just feel like he's emoting, and you feel that passion, you feel that pain, and you're forced into his shoes where, yeah, you're asking that question yourself. And I think that's what makes it timeless, because it doesn't matter when you live, you're always going to, you know, the good people of the world are always going to question, how can we make this better? What is wrong today? And how can we address that?
And he's just a brilliant musician. I mean,
So
just now I had the falsettos in that song in my head, and, you know, it's just...
The vocal range.
Oh, it's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Guy's magical.
He is.
Magical.
Before we move to another song, I really want to come back to what you're talking about with like how it's a question, because it reminds me of Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes writes this dope poem called Harlem.
Yes.
And in this poem, it ends with a question, just like you're talking about, like what happens to a dream deferred. That's how it starts. Just like what's going on might be how what's going on starts, because you hear it in the backgrounds, and like before it comes on, you hear the people talking and shouting it, like what's going on?
Yeah.
All that other good stuff. And then you hear another question at the end. I'm sure it's the last lyric is too, because it is the motif. Just like when Langston Hughes says, or does it explode? Like, to me, it's like a very cool play on what's going on in the culture of the time, especially in great art that really shows how the culture thrives.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I wanted to vouch for Inner City Blues, but the challenge with pushing for that is it's sort of like the sequel to What's Going On. It's a later track on the same record, and it has a very similar message. It very much calls out the economic challenges of particular to the 70s. So it's a little bit more specific to the times. I mean, of course, we can talk about economic challenges at any time. So I'm going to pivot in the complete opposite direction and talk about one of Marvin Gaye's more iconic songs sonically. We all know that those first 3 notes of Let's Get It On. You hear it in movies, you hear it in commercials, and you think of, I don't know, it depends on when you first heard the song. You think of a very different thing, but that's the reason why Marvin Gaye is accountable for so many children worldwide.
Yep.
And for that reason, I got to vouch for Let's Get It On.
Oh, man.
So wait, let me get this straight. So you started, this whole phrase started with Inner City Blues.
Yeah.
So you were nominating Inner City, and then ended up with...
Let's Get It On.
Let's Get It On.
Because this is the X, Y, and sexy.
Fair enough.
Yes,
Fair enough.
yes.
I would
Can't be
say-
mad at that.
I think
Right.
I think What's Going On represents us well on the social justice front, but we can't deny that Marvin Gaye was more than just a fighter for social justice. He was also a fighter for sexual healing.
And that is a great segue. Because my song is Sexual Healing.
Hey.
Sounds like we got a sexual feeling.
I know, it's a feeling, baby.
Oh my God. It's a good thing we have a glass table.
Keep your eyes up here. Keep your eyes up here.
All right, so we've got his 2 sexiest songs on the table. Let's duke it out. arguments in favor
Wait,
of.
we're missing one.
Yeah,
We're
one
missing
more.
one.
Oh yeah.
One more.
He doesn't
Hey.
believe in asking doctors.
Oh, that's okay. Nobody does. Listen, I have to say, "Got to Give It Up" is the song. Okay.
Damn.
Hey, slow down. I'm going somewhere here. Okay.
Go.
It's a party song.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what are the first lyrics? The first words? I used to go out and party, and stand around. I mean, I don't really know that anyone in our generation would know how feel good that was during the 70s, in the time that the song was released. I think the most that people know now is that Robin Thicke song,
Mm-hmm.
Blurred Lines,
Dum 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 dum.
which, correct me if I'm wrong, ripped off, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Got to Give It
I
Up.
don't
I mean,
think-
I think his
correct.
lawyer said that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he was sued.
Yeah,
And
big
he
time.
won.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
So yeah.
And Ed Sheeran, that's a whole different podcast, though.
That's
Okay?
another boy named Sue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's a different podcast. We'll link it below.
Yeah.
But no, my top song, Got to Give It Up. It's percussive.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like it laid that analog, organic, foundation for what disco would become.
Sure.
Can you feel that a little bit?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely.
Disco,
Oh, yeah.
you think of that
'Cause
four
it's
on the
got that.
floor, If you don't know what four on the floor is, some music tech terminology, excuse me. Four on the floor, boom, 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 right? That
Yep.
kick drum,
All the
I
kick,
know that.
baby.
yeah, that kick drum just
You feel it in
drives
your
it.
chest.
You feel it in your chest. It's all four beats.
You also feel it in your backside because that thing be popping and locking.
Yeah.
Dropping like it's hot, baby.
Yeah, that was decades later, but I mean, no, I really do feel like the song laid the foundation for what disco would become.
What year was that?
I don't remember specifically what year, but I would say disco really hit its high in 75, 76.
Mhm.
So the song would have obviously come out at around that time or
Mhm.
before. But notice my key word was analog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Disco, in its popularity, was more tech,
Mm-hmm.
synthetic
Synth-driven.
synthesizers and just non-organic sounds. Got to Give It Up was very organic. No horns in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just drums, an electric piano, and Marvin's vocals on top. Of course, with your boy
Yeah.
on bass and
Yeah.
somebody else on guitar from
From
that
the Funk
unit.
Brothers, yeah.
From the Funk Brothers, from the unit, as we call them. But, that song really just, it gets me going. I don't care what kind of day I'm having, that song just gets me going, Not for the connotation that y'all were talking about, but because it's a feel-good song. Okay, the
Yeah.
doctor has spoken. Thank you.
That first line, though, it does touch home because I used to go out and party, at least in the time of BC, before COVID.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
And now that I can't wait for AD, I'm not going to tell you what that one means. You'll have to figure that one out.
Well, you made a fun point here that I want to piggyback off. You referenced some lyrics. Does anyone know any lyrics to "Let's Get It On"? Besides "Let's Get It On," and then whatever you say, I really try. And we don't know really.
Yeah.
If you know the lyric, do you know the lyrics?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you do,
Yeah,
Cody.
of
To
course I
hold
do.
back these feelings for so long. And if you feel
All right. We're gonna get struck. We're
Yeah.
gonna get a
I
cut.
think they're making my argument for me.
Yes. So to answer your question, does anyone know the lyrics?
Yes.
Oh, heck yes. Thank you. Wash your
Wash your
hands.
Look, you wash your hands after you hit the like button.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that there's never been a song that's been so synonymous with Slinging D at all, ever. I mean, like the closest thing that you might hear and you're like, oh, I think of that is the Saxon Careless Whisper, and still that kind of gets thought of as many other things.
Who remembers anything past?
But does it matter?
Hello.
Is the question.
You know what?
That's it.
If the whole world knows what song is about to start by the first three notes, is that not an iconic song? if there ever
That
was
is
one?
iconic.
Don't finish before you start the song, boys and girls.
And 9 months later, there was two.
Yeah. Yep.
If it makes you feel better, I was definitely the product of less cooler music. More disco, less funk.
Okay.
And
Still sexy.
this childless stew was brought to you by.
All right, so should we chop it up? See where they all land.
Well, you never made a case for sexual healing other than bringing it to the table.
I know. That was terrible.
It sounds like that one's well, definitely not the winner chicken dinner.
Well, you all took it all. You took it all away, and listen. We all know what Marvin Gaye's about.
Getting
He's
it on.
about sexual healing.
Well, I definitely want to bring up in favor of sexual healing that this was in a time where talking about sex, much less a black man talking about sex, in the public would have been very taboo. It's a very sex-negative time. We're obviously a Puritan nation that we've had to kind of overcome certain things, and we're still in the midst of our own sexual revolution now. And just to come out and position sex as something more than just baby making and something as something that can be spiritually or emotionally healing, I think was a game changer.
Yeah. I think it was definitely a better way to go than Dr. Ruth. I think in the comments you should let us know, would you rather be learning your sex education from Dr. Ruth or from Marvin Gaye? And for all you who don't know who Dr. Ruth is, she's way older, way whiter, and might not get you feeling like Marvin Gaye will get you feeling. Sexalicious, baby.
You must be more adventurous.
That was really good. Jimmy Fallon, watch your job. He laughs at his own jokes too.
Damn. That was cold.
Can we make that viral?
You got a jacket for me? I mean, I'm all freezing here.
No, they call me the tree because I cast a lot of shade, baby.
Oh.
Just like that.
Tree right out of Gramercy Park,
I
hanging
love
right
it.
over his apartment.
Nice.
Got him!
Nice. All right, let's chop it up then, I guess.
All right.
So,
First, what were the songs?
what were the songs?
Yes.
So, let's recap. We got Sexual Healing,
Mm-hmm.
What's Going On, Got to Give It Up, and Let's Get It On.
Let's get it on.
Let's Get It On.
Hard not to mix up those two titles. Let's
I know, right?
What's going
That's
on?
what was happening. I was like, wait, let me get
That's
this.
what happened in the James Brown. Too many.
What's going on? What's going with sex?
Yep. When you put like all the Marvin Gaye songs together in an algorithm, that's what the hit's called. What's going on with sex?
So who wants to go number 4? Who's number 4? Let's go with the doctor.
Okay. Don't Hurt Me. Sexual Healing.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's fighting words. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right here.
Sorry, come on. Right on camera? Let's
Right
do
on
it.
camera.
Okay.
In the words of Marvin Gaye, if it's good for you, it's good for me.
Yeah.
Nice.
You did a good job diffusing that one, so thank you.
I know. We were about to throw
We
down.
about to throw down.
I have boxing gloves in my car.
No, but Sexual Healing is my number 4.
Number 4. All right.
Beautiful song, very well put together. It's a feel-good song for that, that mood. When I listen to music, I want to be able to listen to it anywhere. Sitting on the couch with my parents, when I'm at their house, at the desk, when I'm at work, at the gym. I don't need to be hearing about sexual healing while I'm running on the treadmill. I just don't.
If it makes you feel better, I do. That's why I'm on the treadmill.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I Spotify, just like you should be with our new song, Yellow Funky Moon.
There you go.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
You know what? Spotify right here, like when it all comes up, at least I'd like to hope it's in the area where my hands are because I don't edit this until afterwards, or else we'd have floating Spotify logos everywhere. Gotta talk to the editor about that.
I'll wrap it up. The song is just very poppy. Beautiful. Definitely in my top 4, but it's a solid number 4.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're doing top 4 songs here, so when I jump off of Cody's back and say Sexual Healing is my number 4, it is no slight. Out of this list, it's probably the song that I'll throw on the most. It's had a million remixes. It's like a song that has been proven timeless time and time again. So number 4 is no diss to Sexual Healing. I just... it's sort of like Inner City Blues and What's Going On. It's not the better of the two, what would you call it? The songs.
Similar.
Yeah, to the two similar songs that he's had that serve a similar purpose. I find Sexual Healing to be the little brother to Let's Get It On.
Mm-hmm.
So for that reason, I've got it at number 4. But again, it's a solid song.
I mean, you already know how I feel. I spoke my piece. I said it early. I agreed.
That's number 4 for you too?
It's definitely the number 4 choice, but it was a close 4 with the other number 4 I had in my head.
So, shocker. I'm going to go ahead and agree with you guys too. And it's actually, the points you made were exactly perfect. It is so similar to Let's Get It On. I know Sexual Healing I would prefer if I was sitting around and I had the record playing, and if my mom was in the same room and that song came on instead of Let's Get It On, I would be happier at that point. Because for me to be in the same room with my mom, went pwah, 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 that's uncomfortable.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's uncomfortable.
My head was uncomfortable.
I was at lunch with my great aunt and uncle, who, bless their hearts, are 87 and 83. And Sexual Healing came on when I was in the bathroom, and my first thought was, at least it's not Let's Get It On.
I think that Let's Get It On is literally a song that, even though he doesn't say anything, that, you know, it's so sexy, it's literally inappropriate.
Yeah.
In certain situations, you just cannot play it. Like, that could be a fun game. We can just think of situations where Let's Get It On would make things super awkward.
A funeral.
So,
Yeah.
Stu wins.
Wait, I got one. What if Stu's midterms? Stu's an elementary school teacher.
I'm a middle school teacher. My midterms.
That's even worse.
No, it'd be worse because I do that kind of stuff with double journal entries. And so can you imagine 1 week that's the song they have to learn about? I believe No. Please don't read these lyrics out loud. Just do it in the text box. Or what they'll call the sex box.
No, no.
So yeah, I think obviously we're all in.
That's unanimous.
Yeah,
and I think that's
unanimous.
the first unanimous choice
We've had, yeah,
we've
that's
had
correct.
so far.
Why do they call it a unanimous thing if it's everybody agreeing? They should call it a we-nanimous.
Moving on. Number 3.
Number 3. Let's go this way.
Yes.
So number 3, I'm gonna go with "Got to Give It Up." Got to give it up.
It would have been more personal if you picked it as number 4.
Yeah.
Right, I know. Well, I'm gonna change my choice. I'm gonna go with number 4 and Sexual Healing. No, just kidding.
Oh, you're gonna renege on it. Oh, okay. Oh, boy.
No, "Got to Give It Up" is my number 3. It's listen, like you said, we're picking top 4 here. They're all winners. Matter of fact, I can't think of a Marvin Gaye song I don't like, actually, for that matter. I'm pretty sure I have 2 of his records. It's great. "Got to Give It Up" is an awesome song. There are just 2 better ones ahead of it. That's where I stand. Mr. Sauce.
I'm torn. They're all number 1 from here.
For real.
If life was that way, then this podcast would be boring.
If it makes you feel better, I forgot what the other songs were.
No, I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
It's honest.
Let's Get It On.
Mhm.
What's going on? Got to Give It Up.
Oh, man.
All 3 of these could be called
I
"Got to
don't
Give
like
It Up."
the guy, but I have to agree with him. I'm kidding. I like this guy a lot, and I still agree with him.
It's surprising. No one really likes me, but it's okay.
You know what I like? I liked you the moment you didn't take my organs from me when we all met on Craigslist. So
That was a good one, yeah.
let me
And
tell
that's
you.
why they hired me to play keys.
Exactly.
Because in case he does.
Because he had extra organs.
Now you get it.
Oh snap!
Stu is such a good boy. His mind just does not go there.
His mind is evading picking a number 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did pick a number 3. I agreed with
He agreed
you.
with me. He said, "Got to Give It Up." So now that's 2.
So I give it up
Now
to you.
we've got a whole chain going, because I also agree that "Got to Give It Up" is as strong a number 3 as any artist that we might cover. It inspired disco, which was a great thing. We got some awesome artists out of it. We got some terrible artists out of it. And we got one weird revival going on now called New Disco that's really coming out of France and Sweden and all that. But
Or Xotic Yeyo.
Or Xotic Yayo.
There you go.
We play instruments, so that would disqualify us from New Disco.
It would disqualify us from New Disco. But,
And usually means not good at music.
Yeah, usually, that's a good point.
New metal.
New metal, yeah.
But yeah, no, same thing here. Got to give it up as a solid number 3. It's a process of elimination thing here.
Well then, one of these guys is my ride home tonight. So.
Got it.
I'm kidding. But no, I listened to your points and they're all very good. Got to give it up is my number 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dang.
and not because somebody's driving me home tonight, but I think the other two ranked a little bit higher
Mm-hmm.
in terms of message, feel, the way it's put together. Like I said, got to give it up. It's a party song, you know. But the other two just are a little bit higher for me on the list. So
we have full consensus now on,
Yes.
on the 2.
Yes.
I have a
Great.
feeling
Yeah.
that things are going to change now.
they will.
I think so. Let's
That's
bring
right.
it back this way.
I really like the way things are unanimous right now.
It's easy, right?
English comes from German and Latin, not French.
It comes from a lot of places.
All right, listen. Number 2. Very fairly put, let's get it on. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm worried that we're going to be unanimous.
Okay, well, you have to go.
Yeah.
You have to go. Obviously, your number 1
So,
is.
of course, number 1 ends up being what's going on.
So give us your reason why What's Going On is your number 1 above Let's Get It On.
Back to what we mentioned earlier. What's going on is a question. And it can fit more than one situation. Right now, with what's going on in the world, it's very much identical to what was going on 45, almost 50 years ago when this song was put out. That's not a good thing. It's just something to think about. I'll put it bluntly. Because what's going on is filled with the same question being asked throughout the song. Brother, brother, you know, who are they to judge us? Who is us? Who's brother? You guys are my brothers.
Mhm.
Us can be us in here, us out there, the people that are struggling.
Mhm.
You know, you turn on the news right now, and if you're not watching something about the pandemic and coronavirus, you're watching the other pandemic. Do I need to continue explaining that?
No. It's
Yeah,
clear.
I think it's pretty well, you know, it's well stated, I think. So it's a question. And the biggest hits are question songs, I feel.
Yep.
And then number 2, Let's Get It On. I put that at number 2 because, hey, it's one of those songs that, it's a feel-good song also. Those first 3 notes, as you put it, I'm a big fan. And that's the one song where I think simplicity is key. It's one
Absolutely.
of Marvin's, I don't want to say simpler songs because we're just naming the top 4 between us, you know. But in my opinion, it's one of those songs where, dang, something as simple as 3 notes grab your attention. And then his little screams as he goes right back into the chorus, let's get it on. It's like, oh my gosh, it's climactic, but then it's smooth.
So smooth.
And only Marvin can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Yeah, so I have to agree for kind of different reasons. Let's Get It On is my number 2 because, well, when you say peace and love, peace precedes love. And maybe there's no reason for that. Maybe that's just how it was said first and then it had a ring to it. But What's Going On might be one of the greatest peace songs of all time. I put it there at 1A and 1B with Imagine by John Lennon. It transcends time, and it never won't transcend time until we're all cyborgs and we've achieved peace simply by eliminating emotion. But until that day comes, we're going to have these human challenges for which What's Going On will always be an anthem. Let's Get It On falls short because I feel that in picking that as Marvin Gaye's greatest song, we're reducing Marvin Gaye to a sex symbol. And I think he's so much more than that. I think he's one of the kings of musical sex symbols, and and Let's Get It On. There's no sound, let alone music, that is more synonymous with sex than that. We can debate that. I'm just making a hyperbole, but I think that to reduce Marvin Gaye to having his greatest song ever be "Let's Get It On" would be to say Marvin Gaye's greatest song ever is one that you only want to listen to 30 to 50% of the time, whereas What's Going On can come on in any situation and always feel right.
Yeah, hard to argue with that, actually. Very good. Mr. Sauce. Do you remember the two songs?
I do.
Do you know who you are?
Not
Do you
now,
know who we are?
but I remember the
Do you
songs.
know who you are? Do you know what year it is?
I'm hoping it's next year.
I think you might be disappointed when that happens.
I know I will be, because even when this comes out, it won't be next year. Until next year. Yeah.
All right, other consensuses.
Let's Get It On. I love that song. But I like What's Going On too. I mean, I don't like What's Going On, but I like What's Going On.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that being said, I think if there's no more sexy time, there's no more you guys, and I like you guys.
Oh my God.
That being said, you should like us too by clicking the like button. And leave a comment about how much you like us and you like sexy time. That being said, What's Going On is my number 2, and Sexy Time, I mean, Let's Get It On is my number 1 song.
Wow.
Because of those 3 notes in the beginning. Oh my gosh, let me tell you. If you can make it through those 3 notes, G status, guys. That's what you got to do. Make it past those 3 notes, like everybody. If you don't, that's okay. There's always a round 2.
Do we have to censor G status?
No. You might have to censor COVID and coronavirus, though.
Okay. Just don't want to get listed as another tube site.
Oh, yeah. Nah, I think G status is fine. All right,
I'm kidding.
G status, baby.
So I guess it's my turn, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to say what my number 1 is because it's going to make my number 2 very simple. All right, and I have 4 reasons. 4 reasons why my number 1. Okay, and these are the 4 reasons.
Yo! Whoa! Those are the best 4 reasons.
And you all know what song I'm talking about. And you guys are right. You guys are right in every sense of the word. What's Going On probably is a better song from a songwriting standpoint, from a musical standpoint, from a message standpoint, from all the things you said. You're absolutely right.
Xotic,